Welcome back to the Stanford Cardinal Dynasty, where in Week 1, we go on the road down to Waco, Texas to face the Baylor Bears. This is the Cardinals' first top 25 battle of the season and could be an early indicator on how the rest of the season will go. The Bears will be starting the redshirt junior quarterback in Nate Bennett out of Westlake Village, California. He's an improviser quarterback, which is why they're going with him over the redshirt senior. Speed and agility outside of the pocket is the main key. He has less throwing power than the senior and has far less medium accuracy. Deep is about on par, but throw on the run is just so much better. So expect the Bears to utilize that mobility. At running back, they do have a good tandem in Bryson Washington, the redshirt senior, and the redshirt junior in Joseph Dodds. But their highest overall player for the offensive side comes with Micah Gifford, the senior receiver. He's a deep threat, though only has 88 speed. Asher will be manning up against him. Jadon Porter has a little bit more speed, 94, with the other redshirt junior in Kavian Quickly, 92 speed. At tight end, they do have a solid room here, including Ramon Fazande, who partners with former Stanford Cardinal in Chico Holt, transferred for his grad year. He is the slightly more athletic tight end and has better hands, but the balanced guy is going to be Fazande, so we will still see Holt, though maybe not every play. The offensive line for the Bears is a pretty good unit. They are exploitable here at center, though, with Carl Heaney, the redshirt freshman, but then they pick right back up at right guard and right tackle. Well, we might just have a field day if Nelson and Fotu can get going. But we also have to stop a similar situation ourselves. Josh Honeycutt, the 89 overall true junior with 93 power moves. On the opposite side, Trey Wilson. They also have two really good backups, Thomas Trent and Alex Foster. Now, our main concern is over at this right end spot with Trey Wilson, mostly because we have a transfer tackle that struggled last game. Amodi Nigbun, who does have pretty good pass blocking, he was giving up a lot of pressure. Good news for us is we also have Quentin Barden, who's arguably an even better offensive lineman, and he might see some playing time today, depending on how Amoti Nigbun actually performs. And then, of course, the Bears also have Brendan Bett, the big body run stopper down the middle. And the second half of their defense just as good. Linebacker is a pretty well-rounded group, and their secondary is really good. Their lowest corner is an 81. They do have an 81 at free, and maybe that's someone we could look to exploit. But strong safety, they're right back into the upper 80s with Derek Dozier. Now, where the Cardinal have the upper hand is they've already played a game and were able to test things out. Coach Barrington talked on that point following the game. There was a lot of questions surrounding the offense, mostly due to the lack of production in the early half, only scoring 6 points with 5 drives going empty-handed. Coach Barrington responded by saying that they were testing out a lot of things, a new offensive coordinator and a handful of new receivers, but even doing that, they still got Parrish 100 plus rushing yards, the first time that one running back has accomplished that under Coach Barrington. As the season set to begin down in wacky Waco, ETN has us booted off, and Baylor football begins for the season. Cardinal looking to pick up their second straight win, and it will be starting back at the 15. A lot of changes happening during the offseason for the Cardinal, and a lot of that highlighted by their Heisman winner on defense graduating. Need this defense to step up and continue playing dominant football this year as they go to the tight end who picks up the first down. We expect to see a spread look here from the Bears, but know that they could still run the ball if they choose, and it's picked off! Antonio Asher! It took him about half the season last year to get his first, just the second game of the year, and he sets up the Cardinal inside the 25. And the once elated Bears fan base here decided to get the season underway. Already had their breath ripped away. 1st and 10 split backfield. It's Montrell Dog who does not get the block from Parrish on the edge. He'll just make it back to the line. 2nd and 10. Spread look to the right-hand side as it's tossed up for the freshman and overthrown. Ultimately, that's probably a good thing. He was blanketed in coverage. 3rd and 10. Bears trying to hold as they set up the screen with several blockers in front. Baklenko can't send Parrish to the end zone. Instead, he's pushed out at the half-yard line. Wing T. They go dog, and he is denied. They couldn't quite get the push on the right-hand side. 2nd and goal. They stick with the wing T, and it's Thompson, the true freshman power back, with the touchdown to open this game. It's also his 2nd touchdown of the season. He got the game ender last week against Army. The Cardinal capitalize off of the interception from Antonio Asher, new CB1, and they take a 7-0 lead here down in Waco. Can the Bears do better their second drive? Well, they start with some RPO, and they hit it for 9.5. A little show of confidence, though, from Bennett after tossing that interception. Leaves them 2nd and inches with a pistol set. Under pressure, and Sony Fotu does not get the sack. They're going to say it was incomplete. You could very much argue, though, that that was a sack fumble. For the Bears, they survive it, and they hand it off to get stuffed by Nelson. And it looks like we had an injury there. There's a timeout called, and it looks like it was Bryson Washington for Baylor. He tweaked his foot. We'll find out more about that as this game moves along. The Cardinal D keep the lockdown going, giving the ball back to their offense, starting at the 39. Handing it off down the middle, Parrish will rumble for 5. He nearly had the touchdown on the screen the previous drive. Thompson finishes it off, and it's 2nd and 5 here. They shotgun look, rolling to the right-hand side. Brown is going to tuck and run, picks up one block and scampers out, still taking the contact. Now, Brown did have an interesting first game, some positivity to it, but a lot of mistakes along the way. Parrish on the stretch, keeping those legs moving. He does a tumble over the guard, and that does lead me into a correction. I've been calling 55 pale. It is Pale. 2nd and 5 here. As Brown keeps it, he's looking to bounce this one to the outside. Not going to win that foot race, but he does pick up the first. Brown's definitely not the fastest of our quarterbacks, but he gets the job done. Handing this one off on the RPO. Parrish sticks the foot in the ground. He picks up another 5. And as we heard from Coach Barrington pre-game, he did go over 100 last week. First time under Coach Barrington that a running back has achieved that. Going to the outside late and dropped by Dog. Typically not the Stanford receiving back for sure. 3rd and 5 then. Hard count. Do get that right end to jump, but throwing and picking up the first down goes Buck, turning up and bumped out at the 15. So deny that penalty. With that, this Cardinal drive is rumbling back inside the red zone. Bunch to the left-hand side. Blousay to the right. Brown, he's dropping back and maybe waits a little bit long. He finds Buck for a short gain. Cardinal now at the 12 with 2nd and 8. Blousay in motion. They're going to fake the jet sweep to him, hand this one off Parrish, who finds a little lane and picks up again about 5 yards. He seems to be pretty consistent with it. At the 5, needing 2. It's the weak side stretch. Montrell Dog, he picks up 3. The Cardinal really liked that play, ran it a lot last year. Montrell Dog is in for the touchdown. Now every running back outside of Parrish have found a touchdown so far this year. Cardinal, they go up 14-0 following a pick and another quick defensive stop. And now the Baylor Bears, in front of their home fans, they got to put together a good drive here, down a couple possessions. Handing this one off and juking out Nelson. Fotu tracks him from behind. And that is running back number 31 in Joseph Dodds. The other running back has already been declared out for the rest of this game with that foot injury. Squeezing it in, Bennett. He finds his target. And Bears, they've got themselves a first down at the 25 and movement on that left side. Sony Fotu jumped first. The Cardinal gift the Bears with a free 5, bringing up 1st and 5. Tight end playing a little bit of some fullback on that right-hand side. And getting the pass off and nearly picked off. Brandon Nicholson dropped it. He's been getting the start this year as the slot corner, the nickel corner. Big opportunity miss. 2nd and 5. With a quick throw to the right-hand side and breaking it up, Antonio Asher. Using that forearm and hand as a hammer. Knocks that ball away. 3rd and 5. Another chance to get off the field here are the Cardinal, and Howerton denies the scramble. They'll count it as a sack, and it's another punt forced by this Cardinal defense. That also takes this to the end of the first quarter. It's been entirely Stanford Cardinal football here today. Forced turnovers, they're making plays in the Bears' backfield, and their offense is on a roll. And it will be Cardinal ball as we get the second quarter underway. Split backfield. They hand this one off Parrish, and Doug gets a little bit of some revenge. Parrish missed that block the previous go, and now it's a loss of 6 this time. 2nd and 16. One-on-one on the outside as they're giving it to Haddad, and tipped away and blocked out from even finding it after the tip. Well, facing a 3rd and very long. Cardinal come out with an empty set. Trips to the right-hand side. One to the left. They go to the left-hand side. To Parrish. He gets the catch and close to, but a few yards shy of the first. But despite being up already by 2 scores, Cardinal offense staying on the field for 4th down. No hard count. Brown just snaps it. He had an open target, but the linebacker just happened to sit in the right place. It looked like he was trying to find someone to cover. I don't think he realized there was a receiver behind him. A gift from Brown. And as it was 4th down, kind of works as an arm punt. But the Bears take over in plus territory at the 48. Handing this one off. Dodds down the middle, spinning off of 1 and picking up 4. Bears have been able to pick up a couple first downs here and there, but stringing the whole drive together has been an issue for them. They changed things up here, 2nd and 6, sending the strong side to the right-hand side. Bennett hands it back off, and slipping through the 2 defenders, Dodds, he's going to pick up about another 4. Both Ume and Nelson were able to get a push on that side. They just didn't quite get the tackle. 3rd and 1, full house look. They brought the blitz, and a little bump downfield. No penalties come in, and it looks like the Bears are going to bring out the field goal unit. Kicking this one at the 46. It's about a 56-yarder. First attempt of the year, leaning off and in. Well, that's one way to get your season going, a ricochet field goal for Baylor. It barely got back inside the favorable side of that pole. One more look here. Doinks off the bar and straight on in. Gotta feel a little lucky after that. For the Bears, they're pretty desperate for it. They finally cracked that scoreboard 14-3 as the offense starts at the 23. For 32, he picks up 0. Some of the lanes more down the middle going after Brendan Betts have not quite opened up the last few drives. Things more on the outside have, and that's where they go. Parrish, he's going to pick up 4. That leaves the Cardinal with a 3rd and 6. They come out with a spread look. 2 to the right-hand side, 1 to the left is Haddad. Brown, he takes the snap. Lane opens up. He's going to scramble for it, sliding down safely with that first. Utilizing both his arm and legs in this one. 1st and 10 for the Cardinal. Let's go to the right-hand side. Dog, he gets some space, breaks off of 2, but doesn't break away from the last. Ends up going as a gain of 6. And changing up the look here. Parrish back in. Motion from the right-hand side. Blousey, he's going to take it to the left-hand side. Picks up 1 block from Parrish, and that's a Cardinal 1st down. You didn't see that many targets receiving last week, getting him involved a little bit with a designed play action, and they've got their guy open. That's the freshman tight end, and it's a little bit too far in front, tipped away. We'll bring up a 2nd and 10. Bunch goes to the left-hand side, a 3 front here for Baylor. Running right at it is Parrish for a gain of 2. Again, those middle lanes being a little stingy. Cardinal need 8 here at the midfield line. Dropping back, throwing, timing route, finds Haddad, turning the defender, trying to put on the Jets. He's tracked down just shy of the 20. He had the big first touchdown of the year for the Cardinal last week after several missed opportunities. Spread empty look for the Cardinal. As across the middle, they got Buck left wide open, and he will take him to the 8. Very fitting for the man wearing 88. First and goal now. Bunch to the right-hand side. They go with the draw, and it is eaten up. Brandon Bett will go as a small loss for the Cardinal, loss of 2. They get second and goal at the 10. Bunch to the left-hand side. They got Haddad open, and he's going to get him to about the 5. Perhaps if you throw that one to the inside, he catches, he runs, and who knows how that one ends. Instead, third and goal inside the 2-minute warning. And they flick it out to Buck, who gets pulled backwards. I don't know, that might be a horse collar, but they don't call it. Instead, down at about the 1-yard line. Offense stays out, first and goal, and Parrish slips back to the left. He's pushing, and they say he doesn't have it. But Coach Bearington has thrown the red flag onto the field. Let's take one more look. That one was extremely close. Parrish missed an opportunity at a rushing touchdown last week. Hurdling, coughed up the ball an inch shy of the goal line. Not getting a fantastic look here. So trying to get a better look ourselves here. Down the line, Parrish comes back this side. He is blocked up. Taking a look from the aerial view here, you see the push comes in, and again, he is stopped shy by about an inch. Closest he gets is about right here. That ball is an inch away from the goal line. So that is now 2 weeks in a row Parrish has missed that big opportunity. Big push up front. Kiki drags him down at the 1. Ball really doesn't move forward much at all, maybe a slight bit. They then go Dodds and pushing, shucking off, and hurdling Nelson, sprinting down the sidelines. A huge play for Dodds. That's 2 plays the Cardinals should have had the safety. Opportunity missed. First and 10 now up at the 22. As they throw to the left-hand side, and chopping them out is Hennessy. First timeout comes in for Baylor. Now, speaking of Hennessy, he had a really good debut. He is a redshirt freshman starting out there at corner. And once again, they find 8 sitting underneath. Now, Baylor could really swing their momentum here prior to the end of the half by finding their way to the end zone. Make this thing a 1-score game. Fochu's on the ground. Good blocking, eventually scrambling and sliding underneath the tackle goes Bennett. He'll pick up 5 and call hurry up here. Both teams do have 2 timeouts remaining. Second and 5, they bring the blitz, throwing it out to 8, and he's chopped out. A second timeout call. Now, funnily enough, they do call that timeout with a first down given. Clock would have stopped either way as they reset the chains. Stanford bring the blitz. Rico Coat down the middle. It's a loss of 4. And that forces Baylor to call their final timeout of the half. Quick pressure again, though, going downfield and jarring it away last second. Asher. They were going deep for Jaden Porter. No safety help over the top. It was bracket coverage. Opportunity goes by the wayside as they hand this one off Dodds. He's stopped in the backfield, and now the Cardinal call a timeout. They've still got one in their back pocket. Now that does leave the Cardinal with only 18 seconds to try to make something happen to begin with that timeout. Who knows what they can find as they toss this one up, tipped away. Brown was trying to find Blouse. He's got some decent size to him. 14 seconds left. Split backfield. Not getting much separation downfield. They look for Ed Keenan. It gets picked off. And now Pale, he's trying to get to the outside, and he does get the tackle. 4 seconds left. It might be a field goal opportunity here for Baylor. And Brown is shaken up on the play, limping off. It looked like a problem with that right knee. We'll talk about a quick flip here. QB1 might now be injured, and Baylor gets a field goal opportunity. Doinked it in the last time. He sends it down the middle here to send us to halftime. Coach Barrington caught getting a little bit greedy. We'll try to catch up with him after this half to get an update on his quarterback. But right now, Antonio Asher is the big difference maker here. Had the earlier interception and then that pass breakup deep downfield to keep what was supposed to be the end of any Baylor hope of that first half done. Instead, they find a late field goal with the turnover, and it is 14-6. As for Baylor, their biggest playmaker so far has been Joseph Dodds, who kept the safety. He's averaging 4 yards a rush today. And catching up with Barrington out of the tunnel, the good news is for the Cardinal, Brown will be out there to start the half. Now, it will still be important to keep an eye on Brown. As the Cardinal offense hits the field to start the half, they go Montrell Dog on the stretch. He picks up 3. Now, the running game was really important for the Cardinal last week. It's been a little bit touch and go so far in this one. 2nd and 7, they go back to it. Parrish, he takes on the safety, and he leaves the Cardinal needing 3 here on 3rd. It's going to be a bunch look for him. Parrish, the running back. As they got an option across the middle, it's tipped up off the top of a helmet, and it eventually hits the turf. Brown takes another hit as the Cardinal punt. Definitely not a good start for the offense, and you can feel a little bit of some momentum from Baylor. Able to get that last second field goal. Dodds slips the tackle of Richardson, though he's just going to pick up 1 in total. 2nd and 9. 2 spread either side. They go back to him. Rico Coat and a couple other Cardinal meet him in the backfield. It will go as a loss of 2. 3rd and 11. Cardinal need a little bit of some pass rush here. Haven't seen much from Fotu or from Nelson. Throwing this one out of bounds. It will be a stop to start both offensive possessions. I'm sure Coach Bearington is eager to get his offense moving yet again here down in Waco. 1st and 10, they start at midfield. Parrish, he's going to take it to the left-hand side. Looking for that slip back lane. He finds one. However, that might have been due to a holding call. And they'll get the center, Dean Roth, with that call. He's been the subject of a few of those. 1st and 19. RPO, they go Parrish. As he finds a couple different lanes, he finally gets to the outside with a gain of 9. They'll get back all the lost yardage from the previous play. 2nd and 10. 2 safeties downfield, but press coverage on the outside. Brown, no one wins for him. He looks across the middle, and he didn't see the safety. It's going to be another turnover today for Brown. He threw it straight at the chest of 34. Once again, the Cardinal offense breathing life into the Baylor Bears, who have struggled more so themselves. Biting on the play fake, Nelson still gets a little bit of pressure. Diving for it, can't misses. It'll be a gain of 5 for their tight end. We've yet to see Chico Holt out there today. Too many single tight end sets. And throwing underneath and picking up the first down yet again. Kavion Quickly has been the primary target today here for the offense. And slipping another tackle, Richardson dives and misses. Eventually, Howerton pushes him out. It'll be a loss of 2 for Dodson, but it could have been a whole lot worse. He's looked pretty good out there. 2nd and 12, Cardinal line shifts. They look to set up the tunnel screen, and they do finally find their top receiver, Gifford. To this point, Hennessy out there on the island on that left far outside. He's locked him up. 3rd and 5, another opportunity for the Cardinal to force a field goal attempt, but it's quickly getting that first down. Looks like Baylor's starting to call some plays to beat that zone coverage. But man-on-man, Hennessy beat in the press. Gifford gets the touchdown for Baylor. They are now down by 2 points. Will they keep the offense out there, try to level this game up? That is exactly what they will look to do. 2-point try here for Bennett. As he hands this one off Dodson, he bounced it to the outside, and they couldn't bring him down. 3 Cardinal defenders were there. But we are tied up now 14-14. After claiming that early lead in this one, 14-0, the Cardinals have now given up 14 unanswered points. And their offense struggling to move. We'll look to see if Coach Barrington can shake things up here, get that group going. They go with the wide receiver screen to their freshman. Harvin picks up a nice gain of 7. He made a few nice grabs last week, and it's 3rd and 3. Hard count from Brown, no one jumps. He's going to look to step up here, pick up the first down for the Cards, and get down safely. Though safely hasn't been the key word of the day for him. Several turnovers have given life to the Bears. Look to see if they could snatch that away, or nearly give another one. He had it, Dad just didn't lead him. That throw on the run, not as good for Brown. Going back to the running game here, Dog, he sticks that foot down the middle, picks up 7. That leaves the Cardinal yet again. A 3rd and 3. 2 go to left-hand side, 1 to the right. Hard count, movement from that left end or right end from their standpoint, and that will be a first down. Trey Wilson with that call, and for us, we've done a pretty good job locking up that left-hand side. Looking to pass the ball here. Brown, he has a dad pass a little bit behind, will be caught. Turning up and picking up a gain of 7 on first down. Leaves 2nd and 3. Two to that left-hand side. Brown, he's dropping back again. Looking for that redshirt freshman Blousey with a first down. Looks like the Cardinal also going with those zone beaters. 1st and 10, and Dog, he's stockpiled in the middle. Brendan Betts has done a great job of sealing that inside, having to bounce to the outside. Bears rally, and we head into the 4th quarter here, just as they've rallied in this one. We are leveled up 14-14. Cardinal at the 36. 2nd and 9. They set up the screen. They find Parrish getting that catch and getting right down the middle. It'll make it a manageable 3rd down for the Cardinal. They've got to convert on these short down and distances. It's been hit or miss. They go Parrish. He squeezes through a small gap, and they'll keep the drive alive. 1st and 10 at the 23. With the 8-minute mark here left in this game. Haddad in motion. They go jet sweep. Blousey, he picks up a good block. Though, was it too good of a block? A flag is thrown. Though it looks like this one was actually on Buck, the tight end. After a pretty successful jet sweep, it's 1st and 20, empty set. They rush 4. They go Buck's way, and he drops it. And on top of it, an injury on the field does hit for Brandon Bett. He's going to leave the field. 2nd and 20 to go to either side for the Cardinal. Brown steps up. He avoids 1. But he's not going to find his way by the 2nd. It's a minimal gain for the Cardinal in a 3rd and 18. With a spread look, they're going out for the big, tall receiver, and he gets a great grab. But it looks like he's actually injured on the play. Don't know if he celebrated too hard there, but he does head to the sideline after. Looked like he was holding at his ribs. But he sets up the Cardinal here with a 1st and goal. Brown making some checks at the line. They hand this one off. Dog slips. Not going to be able to push through the 2 following defenders. But he sets up the Cardinal at about the 2-yard line for a 2nd and goal. Same look. They will look to pass the ball under pressure, and Brown drifts into the sack. Perhaps they should have just ran it. 3rd and goal. Hard count, no one jumps. And again rolling. He's got Haddad and tipped away. 2 passes missed to his number 1 receiver, Etienne, out there to put the Cardinal back in front, and he slips it in that top left upright. Cardinal 17, Baylor 14. Well, that does finally crack the streak of Baylor scores. As they take over here on offense, Dodds, he's slipping 2 to 3 tackles. Eventually, Camp just pushes him over. Will be a gain of 2 for the Baylor offense. 2nd and 8 here at the 19, though, almost the 20-yard line. As they go with that speed option, he keeps it. And Brandon Nicholson, the corner here for the Cardinal, is injured on the play. He'll have to head off, and Scott will probably step in. Under Coach Barrington, the Cardinal have been a pretty healthy team. Hopefully that is not a big one. 3rd and 7. They'll look to set up the screen, and Nelson's all over it, blowing it up, a loss of 3. And the Cardinal can take over in fantastic field position, starting at their 46. They look to go Parrish with a big man. He provides some press down the middle. Betts returning from his injury. But the speed of Parrish just too much. Takes it all the way to the outside for the gain of 8. 2nd and 2. They go right back to him. Down the middle. 1st down as Brandon Bett. He hits the floor yet again. Got to give the man some respect, trying to push through that for his team. For the Cardinal, Harvin also steps back out there. They look to go his way here, but a great stop from the corner. Tackled about as soon as he caught that ball. Clock is moving here as they hand this one off. Parrish down the middle. He tried to bounce it. Gets corralled. And that leaves the Cardinal with a 3rd and 4. 2 go to the right-hand side, Haddad to the left. Hard count, no one jumps. Got to make sure they pick up the 1st down here, but can't find his receiver. Hit as he throws. LC Naylor trying to help out the Bears, and Etienne coming out here for a long one, a 52-yarder. He's got some power, and he puts it through. 52 is good for Etienne. And that'll make this one a touchdown game. With 2:52 left on the clock, Baylor throws and tipped away. Rico Coat all over quickly. Bennett targets his top receiver. First play of an important drive. Then they go with the draw. Rico, he's trying to break it up. Still goes as a first down to Dodds. As they're up to the 31. Trips to the left-hand side. Early movement. They're going to get Howerton. A free 5 for the Bears. Not exactly what the Cardinals are looking for here. Stops the clock as they're looking to pass the ball here. Getting a little pressure from Nelson. Forcing him to the left-hand side. Fotu in pursuit. He won't get there either. Throwing that ball away. We'll leave 2nd and 5 as they come out with 2 to the left-hand side, 1 to the right. Bennett and Dodds sending him in motion. That orbit screen leaves a couple guys open. Hennessy! He could have sealed it. Gave up the touchdown earlier. That could have vastly made up for it. Instead, 3rd and 5. Baylor with another opportunity as they do find Gifford. Speaking of that touchdown, only his 3rd grab of the night. But it's a pretty big one for him as he reaches his next milestone. But it also brings us to a milestone of this game. 2-minute warning. Baylor, they need a touchdown. As they look to throw, Asher, he couldn't break it away. Rico Cote gets the tackle. First timeout is called. Defense needs to make a play here. 2nd and 3 as Baylor is into plus territory. Clean pocket to throw downfield and drops it into the bucket for their tight end. And now they sit inside the red zone. 1:50 left. They need the touchdown and the extra point to take the lead. Dodds picks up 4. And Baylor now letting that clock run as well. As they go play action, rolling to the right-hand side. And Roseboom will get the tackle. It's a loss of 1. And that takes us inside a minute. 45 seconds and counting to be a little bit more specific. And they throw. Richardson, he gets the stop. 4th and 2. They will need to convert here. But they no longer have any timeouts. 4th and game. Nelson with the pressure. Tipped away by Hennessy. He may have given up a touchdown earlier, but that seals it. The offense can take the knee, and in a wacky Waco, the Cardinal will sneak out of here with a victory, scoring all their points on the outside quarters. 14 in the first, 6 in the fourth. It is enough to sneak by the Baylor Bears. Antonio Asher is your player of the game with 1 interception to set up that first touchdown, some key pass breakups. But overall, this is kind of a game of the opposite from week 0. The Cardinal, they looked really good offensively early, but they did not bring that with them the rest of the way. They do start 2-0. They pick up a top 25 win against Baylor. But the road isn't going to get any easier here for the Cardinal, though they do jump into the top 10 at spot 9 with that win. But they're going to have to hold it at home as now the Texas Longhorns come to town. Now we are already past the point of Arch Manning. He has moved on to the NFL. They are going to be starting a 88 overall redshirt sophomore quarterback in Allen Ornoff. He has a little bit of some mobility, 82 speed, but really he is a thrower. 91 throw power, 87 short, 84 for medium, and 88 deep. So we need our secondary to continue to perform as they did today. I mean, for the most part, we locked down that Baylor receiving core. We gave up one big play to Gifford. Press coverage got slipped. We're not the best at press. That was a coaching error. But we've got the guys to get the job done here against Texas. We did struggle to tackle Dodds today. And with Jarek Gibson, we got to make sure we bring him down. He's an 89 overall redshirt junior running back for the Longhorns. And then at receiver, they have a lot more depth than Baylor does. Quickly had a pretty good game against us. We got to make sure we're covering everyone down the field, in the middle, and short. But the offensive line here between the Longhorns and Baylor, they're pretty evenly matched. And we didn't necessarily dominate up front. We need a little bit more from Fotu and Nelson. But our tackles will still have to put together a really good game. Zina Omeozulu is a really good looking edge rusher here. An 89 overall. He's listed at left. He might move around a little bit. He does have 87 for power moves, 90 for finesse, so he's a balanced rusher. We got to lock him down. The Longhorns also have Atticus Williams, an even bigger body down the middle at 6'7", 325 pounds. We struggled today against Brandon Betts. He really locked down the inside run game. Good news for us is Williams is not that strong despite his frame, only 83 strength. We need a push. And if dealing with Omeo Zulu wasn't enough, we also have to deal with Gillette here, who is a 92 edge rusher. He's listed at left outside linebacker, so that shakes things up even more for where these guys are going to be coming from. But they also have Akana right behind him, who's just about as good. Down the middle, Ty Anthony Smith, really good linebacker. Got to make sure we're not throwing balls directly to him like Brown did today. And their cornerback room is pretty solid. However, their top two guys here, they do struggle in the press. So we might, especially if we see Wardell Mack on the outside, we might look for a little bit more deep shots just to try to stretch out that defense. The boys, they picked up the win today. We've been harping on them here at the end, but they got the win. It wasn't supposed to be an easy game. It was 15 versus 20. Baylor now drops to 25. But I still want to clean things up. Turnovers were a problem today, and Brown can't afford to be throwing 3 interceptions directly to defenses, because not every time is our offense going to make up for it, as they barely did today. The running game was slow to get going, one of the few times that our running backs have averaged less than 4 yards per carry. And receiving, we didn't really have any standouts. We spread that ball out a lot. Everyone about even on receptions. We did have a couple drops. Buck had one, and that continues to be an issue with him. But he also was our leading reception guy today with 4. Do want to shout out, though, Morgan Harvin. On the play he got injured, that was one heck of a catch. And it's exactly what I want to use his frame for at 6'4", 212. And before we end today's episode, one last note talking about recruiting. We are starting to break into top 5 for a lot of these players. And for pretty much every single 5-star, we have now jumped in front, including some of those close battles. Clemson, technically, they were just a smidge in front of us for Brian Paschal, but we're going to make a good push there. He's a good run stopper for our future. As for the 4-stars, we're not pushing very hard for these guys. Boise State's actually in front of us for a couple of these, but we're all sitting in a pretty good spot. We've even jumped up here for Ty Holly, which was exactly what we were looking to do. So recruiting class is looking pretty good. We want to keep it small, so we're really going hard after these 19 players. But that will do it for us here today. A 2-0 start for the Cardinal. We have moved up to 9 in the nation, so that is looking really good. Duke, Georgia, USC. That's going to be a big game this year. Kansas State, Pittsburgh, Clemson, Michigan, and Florida State, surprisingly, are the only teams above us. We will at least play against USC in season, and hopefully we find a few of these guys in the playoffs down the line. So knock on wood, cross your fingers for that. And while you're also doing things, go ahead and hit that bell icon on the bottom right-hand side, or scroll down to the sub button and definitely tap that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday over on Madden, the Jaguars franchise. We're a couple games into that. Make sure you don't miss that every single Tuesday, Thursday. A lot coming at you as we head back home for another top 25 matchup against the Longhorns.